Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Miss Murdoku and today we're going to play Frontier Town. So this is a hard level and we have a couple of general clues. So it says there's exactly one outlaw hiding amongst the suspects. The outlaw may or may not be the murderer. And the outlaw was beside a table. Okay, the outlaw was beside a table. Okay. All right. So we have Abigail. She was beside a cash register. Okay. This is a register. Okay. She can also be here. Where else? Okay. So we have three possible locations for Abigail. We have Bessie. She was in a corner of her area. Okay, several possible locations. I'm going to pencil mark that. Okay. She's in a corner. Okay, several possible locations for Bessie. Okay, I think we got it all. Oh, the spot. Okay. Next we have Curtis. He was sitting in a chair. Okay. Sitting in a chair. Okay, several possible locations. Next we have Duke. Not the outlaw. He was beside a chair. Okay, so he's beside a chair, but he's not the outlaw. Yeah, why was it mentioned that he's not the outlaw? That's interesting. Because the outlaw was beside a table. And Duke is beside a chair. Okay. Okay, several possible locations. He was beside a chair, okay. Next we have um Eta. Eta. She was in the bank. Okay, she's in the bank. Next we have Frank. He was sitting on a horse. Okay, sitting on a horse. There are four possible locations. And then we have Garrett. He was beside a cactus. Beside a cactus. Okay, that's it. Hazel. She was sitting in a chair. She was with the outlaw. Okay, she was sitting in a chair and she was with the outlaw. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Okay, so next we have Ivy. So Ivy, she was south of Hazel in a different area. Okay. She was south of Hazel in a different area. So that means Hazel cannot be in this chair. But if Hazel is here, wait a minute, wait a second. So I just realized, okay, so the outlaw was beside a table. And Hazel, she was sitting in a chair and she was with the outlaw. So Hazel cannot be actually. Wait. So there's a table here. Okay, so Hazel cannot be in this chair because if Hazel is in this chair, That means the outlaw should be beside this Hazel cannot be on this chair because the outlaw needs to be beside the table, right? So yeah, Hazel cannot be there. Can Hazel be here? Okay. If Hazel is here, the outlaw needs to be, yeah, there's a lot of table actually in the back, so we cannot discount that. But Ivy was south of Hazel in a different area. So if Hazel is here, Ivy will be somewhere here on another area. Okay. And Hazel cannot be here because there's no table in the outside, right? And Hazel cannot be on this chair either because if she's here, both locations beside the table in this area will be canceled. So she cannot be here. But Hazel can be here, and then the outlaw must be beside this table, right? If Hazel is here. Okay. Yeah. But if Hazel is here, um, yep. Okay. Anyway, lastly, we have the victim, Virgil, not the outlaw, and he was alone with the murderer. Okay. Okay, who are the possible outlaws? So the outlaw will be in the chapel or the bank because he is with Hazel, right? Okay. Now I'm thinking about Duke's clue because he's not the outlaw and he was beside a chair. Does that mean he cannot be beside a table? Like, for example, this spot here. These two spots, they are beside a chair, which makes sense for Duke's clue, right? But if he's not the outlaw, does that mean he cannot be beside the table so he cannot be here? Is that what it means? I'm not sure because it doesn't say that the outlaw was the only one beside the table. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Okay. All right. So, yeah, I think it's important for us to find the outlaw. Okay, let's try to eliminate the possibilities. So, Abigail, she was beside the cash register. Okay, I don't think Abigail is the outlaw because if she's in this spot where it's beside the cash register but also beside the table, it will cancel out the only place for Hazel to be, and Hazel needs to be with the outlaw. If she's here, it's not beside the table. This one is beside the table, but Hazel cannot be here, so it's not her. Bessie, she was in a corner of her area. Okay, okay. If Bessie is here in a corner of her area, yeah, I don't think it's her. um, but there's still a slight chance or like a little possibility that it could be her if she's in the chapel. If she's in the chapel and she's, oh, no, 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 not really, because she's not beside the table in the chapel. She's beside the table here, but Hazel needs to be here. So if she's the outlaw, so Bessie's not the outlaw. Curtis, he was sitting in a chair. Okay, I don't think it's Curtis as well. Curtis is not the outlaw. Because the only chair that's beside the table is here, and Hazel needs to be on the chair too. It's not him. Duke, okay, it's not the outlaw, definitely. Um, Ada, she was in the bank. Okay, if Ada is the outlaw, if Ada is the outlaw, if Hazel is here, she can be beside okay, if Hazel is here, right? I would think that Abigail will be here. That's two rows. And Eta will be here somewhere. And Ivy will occupy one of the other rows. That could work. That could work. Okay, so Eta is possibly an outlaw. Okay. And then Frank, he was on a horse. Okay, Frank cannot be the outlaw. Garrett, he was beside a cactus. Garrett is not the outlaw. Hazel was with the outlaw, so she's not the outlaw. And Ivy was in a different area from Hazel, so she's not the outlaw. And for the victim, it's specifically mentioned that he is not the outlaw. Okay, is it Eta? Eta was the only one that could be the outlaw. If Eta is the outlaw, I will confirm Hazel here. Yeah, I think I think Eta is the outlaw. Yeah, there's a lot of table in the bank where she can be beside of. Okay, I will confirm Hazel here. And Eta will occupy one of these spaces. Okay, so that means Abigail is confirmed here because if Abigail is here, there's no other location for Eta to be, right? In the bank. So I think Abigail is beside this cash register. Now we're just not sure if. Okay, so Eta will definitely occupy one of these spaces. And the other one will be Ivy's. Because she was south of Hazel in a different area. Okay, I'm going to first remove the other people that I put here. Um, Duke, not there. Not there. Frank is also not here. Okay. Okay, so um Ivy could be here, here. Okay. She was south of Hazel in a different area. Okay. So if E is here, oh no, E cannot be here. E is here, I think, because F is here. There's only one location left for Frank to be, and it's this horse. So Eta is here. Okay, that's good. What else? Okay, there's two locations left for Garrett. So this spot is crossed out, right? As well as this spot. No one can be there because it will cancel out both locations for Garrett. Okay, what else do we have? Bessie, she was in a corner of her area. Curtis, he was sitting in a chair. Okay, there's only one chair left, right? Okay, Curtis is here. Duke is not the outlaw, he was beside a chair. Garrett, he was beside a cactus. Ivy. Okay. Okay, so if we put Garrett here, it will force Duke here. And Ivy will be here and Bessie will be here. Right? But if we put Garrett here, oh, we cannot put Garrett here because it will remove both places for Bessie. Okay, so I think Garrett is confirmed here. Oops. Garrett is here. And Duke is here. Ivy is Ivy is here. And Bessie's here. And our victim is here with Duke. So Duke is our killer. Okay, let's submit that. Okay, yay, we got it. Okay, so that's Frontier Town. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know how you did in the comments. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate your support. And thank you so much to all of my subscribers. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!